It is Friday night, time for Guitar Safari, and that guy is Seth.
Wax off, wax on, wax on, wax off. Paint
That's
the
wrong
fence,
show.
paint the fence, paint the fence.
You
Paint
got to
the
get off.
fence.
Time to leave your off-Broadway stuff.
Turn the tuning key. Turn the tuning key. Clean the fret. Now you clean the fret. I bring you 40 guitars. You clean the fret.
Oh my!
Good evening, Charles.
I don't know what to do. How you doing, Seth?
I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm recovering.
Recovering.
Yeah, well, I'm me. So I'm just always recovering from being me.
Well, that is so sad.
I know it's difficult. I barely get better, and then I'm me again. Every 12 hours.
Does Sherman have the secret medication?
No, he's off the meds. It's great. Now we're equally out of it. So, man, we made it. We made it to Friday.
It is a Friday. I was never so happy to get off of work than I was today. I was just done.
I was done.
And I tell you, I love you. I love what I do, but I was just done today.
Yes. Oh, is Tyson fighting tonight? Is the Tyson fight tonight?
I don't know.
I just saw something scroll by. I saw. I am in a fighting and singing mood. Charles, what was I doing right before the show?
There was some singing going on.
I was serenading Charles.
The guy's got a voice, folks.
I'm giving him the serenade just because that's what I was doing for 20 minutes or 10 minutes before we.
I had to ask if Sarah was okay with this.
With the serenade?
Yeah,
I know. She'll have requests sometimes. And I'm like, nope. But
all right, well, let's see who you've got here. Would you guess Hobo Roadie was the first one in the chat?
Well, hell yes, I'd guess. I mean, I would guess that if I was guessing out of the top 5 people. What up, Hobo?
He's probably gonna miss it, but she's
fine.
off on someone else's errand, and
it happens.
Who knows what that can mean, right? Who knows what that really could mean?
Well, he's doing something that you got to do. It's an obligation.
He's on a mission from God.
Yeah, iced coffee.
We got our buddy Patrick Trightson next.
What up, PT? In the hizzy? For shizzy.
And we got Earl Coli.
What up, Earl? What's crack-a-lackin'?
Earl, I've got a margarita on the rocks, buddy.
Ooh, Charles.
I'm not playing around.
Oh, I like that, Charles. All right, doing it well. That's great.
All right, and time surfing alien with the most awesome avatar ever is saying he'll see us in 29 minutes. So he's been waiting for us to get started for a while.
Holy crap! Do we have to do a pre-show? You have to have like a tailgating party.
I know. It's like I feel guilty. I feel like I should be in the chat, just kind of welcoming in people,
serving dogs and stuff. I was playing guitar and wondering why I'm unable to fix this whisk. Anyway,
I don't know. Well, you got Steve Rezer and Steve.
What up, Steve?
We need to get Steve on the chat with Charles.
Yes, we do. You do. Steve. It's much more your obligation than mine, but yes, I'm going to go ahead and say yes.
Yep.
Let's do that.
And Randy Crooks is here. Hello there, Randy. Hope you had a good week.
Brother Randy, we chatted the other day. It was nice to talk to you for a minute, although I felt like my time was kind of constrained. Forget why that was at the moment, but I was thinking in time. Oh, it was after the show and I was expected to go to dinner or something like that. Anyway, long story short, we had a little wrap out. That was cool.
Yeah. It's always good having a conversation with Randy for sure.
Or at least touching base. He's busy as hell too.
And then we got Brian from Searching with Tone.
Oh, what up, dude?
Wednesday shows are just getting better and better. Really enjoy
Wednesday. What time is he doing Wednesday?
Wednesday, I want to say 6 p.m., but
6 p.m.
I probably have the time all wrong.
Pacific?
6 p.m. Central or 7 p.m. Central. I can't remember.
Okay, all right. I have to check into that. Maybe I could do a book ending.
I get the notification I'm there.
Right. I was thinking maybe I'd do the book ending thing either before or after. I've dropped off of Wednesdays. I stopped doing Wednesdays, but my Wednesdays were fun. But anyway,
I always enjoyed the playing with Presley's.
It's fun to play for a little while and just jam. Every single one of those gets a copyright because I play, whatever.
Well, do you know what a fella did the other day?
What'd you do?
The fella last night brought the Strat out into the living room.
Oh yeah.
First appearance out in the living room.
Oh, okay.
And she just kind of hung out there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think she made the missus jealous.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to step away from the Strat before.
Well, I didn't step away from the Strat, but the missus was
checking it out.
Just jealous, She was,
oh, yeah, it was getting a nice treatment just hanging out there, huh?
It was just kind of hanging out there, leaning against the couch, unassuming.
Just, like a gift, like it was left there on purpose. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, where's your Spark amp located?
It is right here.
Oh, you play that thing through the Spark. Yeah, you get some good fun tones.
Honestly, the Spark doesn't get turned on as much. It's ever since I got the Classic 30 there, it
yeah, I get you. You're getting a lot more pure tones, but if you want some good, fun, playful, kind of what we might call fake, like it would take so much to replicate them kind of tones, the Spark is great for that.
Yeah.
And it delivers such a more than mediocre.
I'll tell you when I love to use the Spark, when I'm using the Spark, I'm using presets from Martin from L&M Guitar Corner.
Oh, okay.
He's got several presets that are just right on the money.
That are tweaked in, dialed in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I tend to go through and I'll look through the ones, and then the ones that have a lot of downloads.
Mm-hmm.
I figure are the more popular ones, so I jump on that bandwagon, as it were.
Well, I know Martin's done the work,
making sure that they're all dialed, good to go.
And Gary's here.
Mm-hmm. What up, Gary? Gary who? GTR. What up, dude?
Yeah, that's Gary.
Mm-hmm.
Great guy. And then, of course, my older brother, is hanging out here with us.
What up, bro? My older brother used to come by every now and then.
He still does. Sometimes
make fun of me. Sometimes, sometimes he's lurking.
72 is here with us. He's a convert over there from the Search for Tone channel. So,
oh wow! Well, thank you for coming by. And sorry.
We are looking at Papa Blue's made his way in. Hello there, Papa Blue.
Oh, what up, dude?
I see Papa Blue on the big channels all the time.
On the big channels with the big dogs.
He's small.
Yeah, I'm small.
Appreciate him.
Small, but and higher.
And of course, we got McCollum Music. Matt, how you doing, buddy?
What up, Matt? Making some music, doing some recording.
Eddie Faye coming in with Hola Mariachis.
Hola, it's coming back, homie. I'm getting it back.
Yeah,
because my wife hates just a mustache.
And Travis here with us. Hello there.
What up, Trav?
And Dan Gorman has made his way in.
What up, Dan?
Yep, Michael Krause.
Dan, did I already talk to you about? Your name reminds me of a hang gliding buddy. You're not a hang glider, are you? A former hang glider pilot, or hang glider pilot that just isn't currently flying.
We got Papa Ben in the house.
Yo, what up, BZ and the heezy? I'm about to sneezy. It's cold here in California, dude.
We got a little bit of a cold snap here today. A fellow was wearing long sleeves and long pants.
This is bullshit. We pay far too much in property taxes for it to be cold. Somebody needs to tell.
I'll tell you how cold it got here. A fella had to go out in the driveway this morning as his wife was leaving for work. She left. She said, "Hey, my tire pressure's low." I said, "Well, turn yourself around."
Right. Oh yeah.
Aaron, the tires of the wife's car this morning. She can get safely to work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Does she have that auto sensor?
Yeah.
That tells you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've had days where it trips itself off. On days when it starts super cold, because like that, just in the temperature of the air just fucks with the sensor in the tire.
Well, it's just, when you go from being 90 degrees to 60 degrees
or 50, yeah.
Yeah, that air contracts and it's like, oh, you lost 4 pounds of pressure.
We were 37 the other morning, 37 here. I took a picture because we're up We're up about 800 feet, and there's this little valley across that fills with this cool tule fog, and I
Yep.
love taking a picture of that. It's really cool.
Well, we got Blue Mox here in the house. We need
What
to
up, Blue Mox?
on chatting with Charles again too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's where he was talking about Tyson.
For the show. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think Tyson's going to kill that poor kid.
You think so?
Well, I'm just thinking that they don't understand that Tyson is a boxed. You know, I've actually met Mike Tyson in person and shook his hand and chatted with him for a while. Yeah, a couple of times. And he's every bit that you would think. He's much, he's shorter than you might, especially if you're a tall person, you'll be surprised. But he has this charisma and strength to him that you can tell he's superhuman.
Yeah, he's like Mr. T Swollen.
He's just got this thing when you look in his eyes that he could just feel like he could maybe kill you.
Yeah,
and he might kill that kid because he's just got nothing to lose. But we'll see. He's also getting paid.
Shock in the house here. I want to know what instrument the cat plays.
Mm-hmm. It's obviously the steel drum.
Yeah.
Bing, 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 bong, bong, bing, bing. That'd be. How come we can't train a cat to do that, to smack the steel drum perfectly and play in a band? Right?
Can you get a cow to play the cowbell?
Yeah, that is true. It's been years. They haven't figured that shit out. They're definitely not on time.
Hello there, Dastardly Dave. Welcome in, my friend.
Trying to get certain kids to understand quarter notes, Charles. Oh, when kids don't understand quarter note timing and they just can't get timing, it's like something that I say to myself, at this stage of my life, I shouldn't be teaching that in particular.
Here you go.
Like, you should be all beyond that. Come to me with quarter note timing ability, please.
Well, we've got William Silva's in the house with Sappinen. Well,
what's
happening is William is happening.
Sappinen. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
What's happening?
Nice.
Sorry.
Well, we got our buddy River Docs in here. River Docs is doing something really interesting. He took all his Leonard Skinner videos, strung them all together.
Oh, perfect. So you could just binge them.
And just put them on a live stream on loop.
Oh.
For like 24 hours.
So people will always stumble onto it and always see it. There you go. And then they can always be joining his community.
It is really cool.
That's smart.
Ahead of time, let me know it was going to happen. And it was so much cooler than I thought it was going to be.
Right. Like a live server, just like a.
And he's been in and out of the chat all day long. It's like a premiere with the videos going all day long, just on a loop.
Right.
And then he comes in and chats with folks. It's really kind of cool.
Well, it's the whole Skinner community just stopping by all the time. That's smart. Very smart.
Buddy Ken, Hit Metalworks in the house. Hello there.
What up, Ken? Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I'm about to start working some metal, making some stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, we got
Spider here, too. Hello there, Jimmy.
What up, Jimmy? Yep, I think Hip Metalworks. Man, I think that I could maybe build something. We got all the stuff. We got the cutters and the grinders and the welders and the fitters and all that shit. I'll make something. I'm going to make the Geo into a battle wagon.
We got our buddy Rico B here with us. Nice.
Yep.
And of course, we got Bonkers in the chat.
Eddie.
But Seth, we've got a topic here tonight.
We do got a topic. Because what are you gonna do?
Because I don't remember nothing.
What? You don't pay for nothing.
What are we doing? What are we talking?
You don't pay for nothing? You mean you're only gonna work on it yourself? You're only doing DIY or you're gonna take it to a luthier.
Right, we're talking about guitar maintenance, right? You take it to a guitar tech, you take it to a luthier, or you just DIY that bad boy.
Yeah, because a guitar tech and a luthier are kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, by definition, but I was always considered that the luthier is more of the instrument repair that
Well,
will
your
actually
guitar
work
tech
with
is more.
wood and
Well, your guitar tech is more of your repair. Your luthier is the guy that builds.
right. But they can repair the wood to a broken
Mhm.
instrument, can
Yeah.
repair a neck that is broken. That would be luthier repair work. We're talking about bringing our existing guitars to people. So they would be somebody who can build, right? But luthier is actually, the definition is someone who does anything with stringed instruments.
Mhm. Yeah.
So if you maintain them, but
It, Randy, and
yeah.
Randy here, he's saying he doesn't want to mess around with his playing time. He wants to take it to Guitar Tech. He wants it just taken care of so he can take it home and have his way with it.
Yep, that's a good person to have. They can just do your adjustments for you, charge you only for what you need, and keep you going. And you just focus on what you do.
Mhm.
Luthier's repair too, Ben. When they aren't building, they are also repairing. They're always doing.
They may be repairing something they built,
Yeah,
someone else already broke.
yeah. Because I do both. I build, I repair, I do everything. So, but I don't know what I would have referred myself as, a guitar tech or a luthier, or does it even matter?
I could never consider myself a luthier. For me, that is like a guy that can take it from the raw wood
Yep.
down to the finished product.
Yep. I'm getting there. I can take it from the raw wood, give me a neck, and I can make it into a pretty good guitar, which is pretty easy. I mean,
Mhm.
Fender and Bigsby figured that all out back in the day. Actually, Bigsby figured out, and Fender apparently stole it from him.
And
Oh
Barker
well.
says he will install all the hardware and electronics and then take it in for the setup because he wants it to be just right.
The setup is, but if you can learn to do that sequence of adjustments to get the setup to the specific numbers that you know that you like, you should probably be able to do most of the setup stuff on your own as well. Just need to learn it, and it takes a lot. It does take time. You got to do a lot of guitars
Oh yeah, Patrick's
before you.
definitely going that DIY route. He says, "I do it myself. It's my guitar. I
My
want it tuned
guitar.
in the way I want it.
Yep.
I'm gonna figure it out."
Yep. And it's just, you have to buy some tools, and once you get a few tools and you get the hunger for it, then you'll want to buy more tools, because everything you run into that you can't handle on your own and you need that specific thing for it, you end up going and buying it and having
Well,
a lot of
we've got
stuff.
Ryan OU812 in the channel, and
Oh,
he's saying, "What's up?" He's doing a drive-by hello. He can't stay. Ryan, you guys had an awesome show Thursday night. Really enjoyed it. Made my day.
it was crazy. They were
Made my
shredding.
day. It did.
Hmm.
And
Yep.
Randy says Luthiers charge a hell of a lot more.
Just depends on what you're doing, right? I'm not gonna charge a ton more if you bring me your guitar for a pickup swap, just because you're someone who builds guitars from scratch doesn't mean that you should charge somebody more for their pickup swap. That ain't right.
This is why I love Michael Krauss. I'm not a luthier. I was raised Catholic, and now I'm that.
Exactly. I'm agnostic. I'm not a luthier, and don't you give me labels like that.
Yeah.
But
And Ben says luthiers start with raw wood and shape their own bodies and necks. All right.
that is correct, Ben. You are right. Yeah.
I think Blue Mox is talking about something there that a lot of us can really relate to, right? He really enjoys working on his guitar and gear. Once he did his own set of jumbo stainless frets, never felt like I couldn't fix it again.
Yeah. Once you've done it, so everything's intimidating until you just get after it. And we always do the recommendation: get after it on a sample guitar, or get after it on, something that you don't care about that much. But
Mhm.
also, you can also do that with the confidence that hopefully you won't mess it up that much, and that you'll just be able to do it. And if
See,
you do mess it up, someone else can fix it.
well, see, and this is what I love about our chat because we find more and more about folks as we go along. So
Mm-hmm.
Gary says that's why he's a tech. He knows a little about
Bam.
violins and cellos and stand-up basses, etc.
Yep.
So you need something done. Gary might be the guy.
Might know how to do it for you. Yep.
Yep.
Stand-up basses. Ooh.
And of course, Ben says, he does everything he can do himself, and then he outsources the rest.
Yep. And it probably comes down for Ben, same thing like me, comes down to certain tools. Like he would probably do it himself if he had all the stuff. But somebody else has more stuff.
Yeah, there are things I don't do because I don't have the right tools. Right. And that's one of the things you figure out as you get started in doing this. If you don't have the right tool for the job, you might as well not do it.
Just don't do it. Take it to the right place, get it done. Yeah. Or, sometimes there's workarounds that are okay, but you don't want to just go janky all the time. Yep. The more tools I buy, the better my repair abilities have gotten because you build the right jig and you build stuff that you need. That's important too.
Well, the art of noise has made his way in. He says over 10 years ago, $80 for a setup. That was when he started working on his guitars himself. He's like, $80 is too much.
Yep.
Had enough of this, right?
Yeah. Like with inflation, they're about $125 now in the city around here. Mm-hmm.
Dan says he's not a luthier, but he does play one on TV.
Yeah, right.
A lot of us.
Yeah. It's all terminologies, right? So people can argue about it all day. I mean, I don't go after it that hard. You gain confidence in doing what you do and allowing people to make their own, judgments and comments. And
for sure. And Michael Cross says he needs to start doing setups and work on his guitars.
Yeah, there's a lot of good resources out there. You know who has some of the best sequence of videos is Music Nomad. They are free videos, and they're of course championing their tools, and they are using their tools, but none of the tools that they are using there, that you can't get elsewhere, and still go and watch the video.
Right.
And it's all done by my former boss, the guy that taught me. So if you think, go and watch and see how he does it. Jeff Luttrell. He's fun to watch too because he's interesting.
There you go.
Have you ever watched his videos? No, huh?
I have not.
Go to Music Nomad.
It's not the first time you told me.
Yeah, go to Music Nomad. They're free, and they're just like there's a Strat setup, a Tele setup, a Les Paul setup, and he uses the keep it simple, silly KISS method. And they have a certain.
You finally did it to me.
What happened?
You made me go squirrel.
What happened? You went squirrel?
I went squirrel because all I can do is I'm looking at this pink strap up on your wall.
Oh, sorry.
And I'm like, what's going on here? Because I don't know about this thing.
Oh, that's the one that's for my nephew. It's got. I showed the body. Didn't we do the unboxing of the body?
I just haven't seen it on the wall before, and so.
Oh, yeah, it is a guitar now, but it's just on the way. It's like one of those things when you kind of want to get it, get the neck on there, get that all perfectly lined up. Of course, there's the sequence before that, getting the headstock decal on there, that painted on, then getting the tuners on there. So once you have the neck, you can get the bridge perfectly lined up because that body didn't come pre-drilled. So I had to line the bridge up perfectly, which, boy, I was stoked, man. I nailed that one. I'll tell you.
It's looking good.
Thanks, dude. I did something I hadn't done before that I just hadn't, no one had ever taught me, but I just thought of it, and I know that some people are doing this out there. I took a little piece of wood that was the exact thickness that I wanted the bridge to be away from the body, so that if you want to float it, you have to be able, like sometimes you'll get your bridges and they're so far forward that you can dive bomb, but you can't pull back even if you float the bridge, or you pull back a little bit and it'll hit. Yeah. And I wanted to make sure that when we dial it in that we could float it and do whatever we wanted. So I made a little tiny piece of wood and taped it to the inside of the block, and then put the block up, then did my holes and lined it all up, and then took that piece of wood off, and it worked perfect.
You created a spacer. Yeah.
A little spacer. And I just had never done that before. And it's those little moments as we go along in the DIY world that you just kind of figure out. I've done that on the opposite side of the block to block in the trem, as like a trem block, to stabilize somebody's guitar. But so I thought, well, we can just do it this way as we're lining it up, and it'll give us the perfect spacing.
There you go.
So yeah, it's fun to be able to make those little pieces of wood that now I save and I have. Oh, trem spacer.
Well, Blue Mock says he did the stainless on a neck through that he can't replace, and it took him a couple weeks to do it when he had that free time. Yeah, he never thought he would know the guitar that closely ever.
But now you know it, and now you feel like you could do anything to it, right? You've already saved it. You put stainless on it, so it's good for a while.
Well, there is definitely an attachment there. If you went through all that,
yeah. Then the tuners will go eventually. Tuners will just go. They're like an expendable after a number of years. They just have to be replaced.
And Tony Yeager says he forced himself to start DIYing his guitars because as the guitars aren't worth much more than the tech would charge, right? If you're going with a budget guitar and you want to trick it out a little bit, you may not want to take it into a guide that's going to charge you a ton of money to.
We would do that all the time, dude. People would bring us $300 guitars and they wanted to spend $300 on them to make them into, pretty damn good guitars, because you take a $300 guitar and you get it plecked and really set up, and a couple other things that change the pots or something like that, and you've got boom, really good guitar, but you can save a lot and do it yourself.
Well, Gary's still cutting his own bodies, but he says, but the older he gets, Warmoth builds his necks for him.
That's the thing. Yeah, the necks. Yeah. The necks are, but I'm gonna do it just to be able to do it. I got all the stuff now, and I'm just taking my time because I got time. Making the shop at the school is going to be. We were using the router today for the first time, way before I thought we would. These kids these girls just grabbed it. And they're like, "We're gonna route this out." I'm like, "Fucking go for it." They know how to do it, so. But they didn't make a template, so we'll see how it all.
See how clean it is, right?
Yeah.
Well, Matt says his setups are so odd and caveman tuned. He had to learn how to fix and set up his own gear. Matt does some, little things a little bit differently than most.
Well, that's okay as long as they work for you. Some people would bring in instruments that you could tell worked for them, and you're like, "Whoa, I don't want to mess." Because if I make this thing perfect, you're no longer going to be able to play it. Because if you noticed, if you've been playing this guitar that is so far from, if I cut the nut right and I do everything right, it's going to feel completely different. So I would say that to some people that bring in these beach acoustics. I love this guitar. I played, 100 hours on it, or I just play it all the time. And then I'm like, well, probably shouldn't. Only fix something that's broken on it. Don't.
Well, Michael Krause says, where's the best place to start if I want to learn to do a setup? Recommended videos?
Boom. We just did. Yep. Music Nomad.
You could check the Music Nomad channel. You could check our buddy Ben Coombs.
Ben Coombs has a bunch of setup videos as well.
Going way back. It was where I learned to do a lot of things.
Totally.
You could check out the Phil McKnight guy. He used to, have some really good workbench videos.
Yeah. He's got his list.
Addicted to gear. He likes to play around on a messy workbench.
Yep. I don't know if he's done a full setup video like Ben has. Ben has like.
I think if you're looking to do something specific, you could probably find it.
Yeah, I know he's done, neck staining and fret work and all kinds of different things, tons of different stuff.
And Eric, having the right tools for the job does make that job much easier. For sure.
Having the right tools for the job and having them right there at your fingertips. Yep.
Here's the thing. My brother, I sent him 3 packs of strings.
Okay.
And they arrived this morning. He's already restrung his Les Paul.
Great.
Yeah. And I thought I was going to have to feed him some videos on how to restring a guitar. I guess he figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough videos that you can find. Restring Les Paul. boom into YouTube, and you're on the right track.
See, I thought that was what I was, because he wants to have a conversation after our show tonight. And I figured that's what the conversation was going to be about. How do I do this? And
we'll have him take a picture of the headstock, Charles, and send it back. Make sure they're all wrapped the correct direction around the peg.
I was thinking that myself.
And that, that there's a lock in the, because he'll just go in and out of tune if it's not locked.
On the whole channel.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I think that being able to change your strings is a must. Being able to adjust your truss rod and to at least be able to visually check your relief and understand what it is.
Yeah, understand what's going on with that neck. What does it mean when it's completely straight? What does it mean when it's, when it's got a bow in it? What does it mean when it's back bowed?
Most importantly, what is it when it's back bowed?
Yeah.
And how to get out of that situation, because that'll get you stuck, especially if you're ever traveling in weather from, damp, cool to hot, dry. You will experience a neck shift unless it's super stable, which if that's the case, you're stoked. But a lot of instruments, Fenders are notorious for giving you a back bow.
Yep. And Tony Yeager 72 is saying, this community is a great resource for start learning how to DIY your guitars, and he loves it. And it's right, because there's not a fellow in this community, in the little circle we travel in, that isn't going to help you if you want.
Totally.
Yep.
I'll always be happy to give pointers and at least give people the knowledge that was given to me. Oftentimes, even the stuff that I was really working for to earn that knowledge, I'm still happy to pass on. Yep.
And Michael Cross is saying, I really need a setup for dummies. Number 1, the truss rod. Number 2, the bridge. And yep, Ben's videos are pretty much that simple.
Yep, Ben's does keep it simple too. And the bridge, setting up the bridge, depending on what kind of bridge you're talking about. So there you go deep there, right? Is it a pneumatic bridge? Is it a fender bridge? Is it a hardtail? Is it a trem? So
see, Brett Zeppelin, when he comes in, he doesn't ask the easy stuff. He's like, hey, hello everybody. Has anyone cut down a spring for a Bigsby? Because apparently he wants to adjust the action on that bad boy.
Oh, he wants to cut the spring on the Bigsby. No, they order. They make shorter springs. You could probably cut it, but it's not going to have unless you re-soldered it, it won't have the proper bottom to it, right? There's a ring at each side. So you're going to need that ring. But if you can successfully cut and reattach, then yeah, but they sell shorter springs.
Mm-hmm. Here it says those pink erasers we took to school way back is what he uses for a spacer and has for many years. Hey, if it works, it works, right?
Yeah, those I use them to hold a trem in place. Yeah. I've got a couple on the bench to, pull the bar, pop those in, and you can get strings and keep the trem. And they're nice, and they'll help save the finish from getting damaged. Yep.
Can you believe this? We got the Hitman in the house.
What up, Dwight Bailey? What's crack-a-lackin', dude?
And I'm thinking right now that Dwight Bailey's sitting on the couch and he's watching us, and he's playing that guild.
Ooh, nice. Good call.
I think he is.
Yeah, I'd like to have a nice guild. I've been playing my number 1 Strat upstairs, enjoying that though, having fun.
He has the most beautiful guild acoustic. And
question, Charles, do you keep any of your guitars in D standard?
No, everything I have is in standard.
That's too many guitars behind you to not have one in D standard. Can we have the chat confirm that, please? Chat, can we let Charles know that if you've got 9 guitars behind you, one of them should be in DADGAD, one of them should be in definitely in D standard, because then you're just good to go. Yeah, anyway, sorry, Charles, I'm not trying to beat you up, but
I haven't messed with anything that's not standard tuning yet.
Well, it is standard tuning. It's just a step down. Yeah. So it's just every note do one step down, and it'll make there's a bunch of songs that are in D that are fun to play. What what is it? Behind Blue Eyes or whatever that song, is that's in D, or I'm pretty sure it's not E flat. I think it's D. No one knows what it's like. Yeah, Dadgad. See, Randy's got one in drop D and one in Dadgad.
Well, of course he does.
He's got 46 guitars, I think. So he's got
37 guitars his wife doesn't even know about.
That's okay. That's fine. That's actually in some places he's winning. In my tribe, he would be king shaman.
Oh, Eddie's leaving us for pizza with the wife.
Oh, don't blame you. Guess what I'm having after this, Charles?
She's probably cured than we are.
She's much more attractive than we are, Charles. But I'm having pizza and salad, frozen pizza though. So I'm not winning as much as you are.
Well, Earl is saying nut cutting is another tweak that takes some skill. It does,
yeah. Well, making a nut from scratch, or are you talking about, or just cutting the slots? They both take skill.
Either way, I have not been brave enough to do that myself. I'll always get if I replace a nut, I'm usually using a Graphtec nut to replace it. It's pre-slotted.
Oh, dude, it's so not hard. You could do it. So it's so not hard. I mean, it is hard, but you could totally do it. It's not hard for you. It's just time consuming. Do you have a belt sander?
I don't.
So, or if you have like a table, like the kind of sander that is on a table sander that is just going, or an oscillating sander, it makes that work much easier.
A buffing machine that he can put a sanding wheel on.
That might work. I'll have to send you a snapshot of my $100 sander that you can get, that really works for making nuts, for shaping any piece of wood or plastic. Because you can just make corners, and it's very handy and inexpensive, and that will take your Luthier, or not quite Luthier, to the next level. A planer, the oscillating sander with some other a good routing system, good ventilation for all those tools.
I want to welcome in Guitar Man 45. He comes
What
in.
up, Bo?
I have a Strat. Well, Guitar Man 45 is a little bit of everything.
He has a Strat.
I want to wish him well on his mission for God of putting the band back together.
That's fantastic.
Impatiently waiting for the first gig.
And rooting for you, and just knowing, dude, I just want you to know that I somewhat understand the amount of effort. Charles said to me before the show, we were just jamming out a little bit. I was playing. He's like, bro, you should go out and gig again. And I was thinking of how much energy that takes. And I was like, oh, that means lifting something. I think I'll pass. But then again, it is fun. Once you go do it, you get that shot of adrenaline, and you're like, oh, I need back in. Yeah. Drop D and in Dadgad.
Yep. And of course, Matt agrees with you. He says, I agree with Seth. Everybody needs a drop C and a drop F guitar.
Drop C and drop F. What the drop F is going on around here? That's pretty low. Oh my God. I think I've set a couple up.
In D?
In C, yeah.
Joker
is in D.
Joker in B, which is interesting.
What's that?
So Randy was saying the Joker, he likes to play the Joker in D, and Ben was saying he's always played the Joker in B.
B is fun. B is really B5 though, usually is where it'll start. Normally on a guitar anyway, unless you're playing with a full band.
And Gary says a good nut vise is a great investment as well.
That's what I was about to jump up out of my chair and grab and bring over in front of the camera, Charles. But I think it's downstairs on my sander.
Oh, it's never
right
when you need it.
Well, it's right there. It's actually where I want it to be when I'm going to use it, actually. So, but it's just not here up like with my other vices. I keep my vices in a row. That's funny. I keep my vices in a row. The cocaine, the marijuana. I'm just joking. But my actual vice is for gripping things, not personal vices.
Hello there, Christopher Lisawa.
What
Okay.
up? Man, people are still funneling in.
People still
But
kind of
people have been funneling in, funneling out. Busy Friday night.
It is. It is.
Well, wintertime, people actually, do stuff on wintertime, like getting out and have plans to go do shit and go to dinner, and
Mm-hmm.
family always wants to hang out. Ugh. Whoa.
And if Christopher is interested in coming on chatting with Charles, go ahead and send me an email. We could set that up.
Oh, that'd be great. We need your backstory.
Yep, we need to know more about the Sawa.
Mm-hmm.
See, Blue Box says he turned half a garage into a luthier shop, temperature and humidity controlled. The guy built and repaired mostly violins.
That's amazing. Yeah, that you make good money doing that for sure.
I've got a buddy that you remember that biker skull telly I did?
Yeah, totally.
The guy I did that for, he does a lot of repair work on violins and acoustic guitars, and he gigs out acoustically all the time.
Right.
So for to get his seal of approval on
a gig guitar, yeah,
on a gig guitar for his buddy was because
I've got
it was a guitar he had a buddy that wanted to learn to play.
Mm-hmm.
And he had hooked him up with an acoustic guitar, and he wasn't feeling it because he's like a rocker, right? He's like, okay,
right,
electric, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna hook you up with this kit. And he's like, hey, you want to fabric top it for me? And
oh wow, yeah, make it nice for his buddy.
oh yeah,
oh that's killer. Yep.
Ironically, that the fabric that's on that guitar is a fabric I showed my brother when he was down here. And says, do you want, I picture this for your guitar? And
right.
He's like, no, it's too dark. And his wife was like, no, it's too dark, and it's got skulls and all this. And, now he wants me to do one in that fabric.
Well, the final product usually looks different than people's conception of it. But hey, when you attach the neck to a kit, do you wax the screws? Do you? Oh, nut vise is. Oh yeah, nope. Well, kind of a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes.
Do you wax the screws when you install the neck?
Oh yeah, all the time. I won't even, because you don't want to fight that, and you don't want to.
I just like that feeling
more than others. You want it to go in nice and smooth and
be tight at the end. Like you avoid that being able to blow through it. The wax will really lock it in.
It also prevents you from putting that screw in at a weird angle and trying to just force it in when it doesn't want to go.
Oh, I'm only always pre-drill.
Yeah. Well, even when, I'm saying once it's already drilled, right? When you're putting the neck back on a body.
Okay.
Right? Because the more more you screw something and unscrew it, the more tear out on the wood you're going to have over time.
Right. I just meant an initial installation.
Those screws every time, you ensure less tear out and hence a tighter fit.
Yep. I was referring to initial assembly, but I get you. So I guess that's funny that you say that, because oftentimes when I do work to a guitar, I would not re-wax the screws. I wouldn't re-wax them as they go in, but that might be a good thing to get in the habit of. Might as well. Got the candle right there. Doesn't take a second. All I do is I take a little tea light candle, hit it with a little bit of flame, let it get, wet and tacky, and then it's just a dip, and then your screw will be perfectly ready to go. You can use more expensive different kinds of wax, but you can also do it the way I just told you.
Well, and Randy's saying he thinks the acid drop that I did for him was the wildest wrap I've done so far. And I will tell you, it was one I really enjoyed doing, because the really cool thing about that fabric was on each of those circles were these little smaller circles, and it looked like
you were tripping out, dude. You're like totally.
It looked like they were wet, and so when you put the clear on those, when you put the clear on that fabric,
they were breathing, bro.
So it added dimension to it, and it just did something that was really crazy.
Whoa.
Gary's asking, how long does a fabric top with no binding take you to do?
A long ass time. Hella hours.
Honestly, I can do one if I'm not interrupted and I'm allowed to be on the workshop, I can do one in 30 days.
But it's 20 hours of work.
Right. It is a lot of work and a lot of attention, and
20 hours of work.
and really a lot of that work is at the end. It's once you got everything done and you're really making that finish come alive.
I had more than 40 hours work in Randy's guitar just because of the staining of the body. That's all hand stained, and it's coat after coat after coat after coat after coat after coat. Many applications to
But I
get
will
it to
tell
that.
you, like doing the Charles Green Motley Crue guitar, that was months.
Yeah,
It
3 months
was
doing it
months
right.
because it was something different. It was a different fabric. It was this thing has to be perfect.
But results, so result. You can't argue with results, Charles. You killed it.
Here's the thing that I'm going to reveal. When I do a guitar with binding, it's actually easier to do a guitar with binding than it is to do guitar without binding.
Yeah, because you have a point of termination
Yeah,
of the fabric.
you
Yeah.
are limiting all of your
Your
you're
pulls are going to
limiting
be
all
easy.
your seams, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
like seams that I have to deal with on a Strat or Telly on the sides,
Yeah.
I can completely eliminate those.
So what you're telling me is that it seems easier.
It seems easier.
I get it. I get it. Yeah, no, I mean, I totally get it. A double binding it would be the call because then you can just get your fabric at the right size and have it perfectly laid in. And yep.
And Gretsch is really right. You know, jobs go much easier with 100% cotton.
Oh, with the cotton fabric?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a cotton polyester blend or all polyester.
You can use them. You can use them and you can do it, but it just goes better with 100% cotton.
Huh. Okay. I have a shirt that I might want you to make into a fabric top for me, Charles. That is the shirt that I had when I was 18 to get my first driver's license. It was like a tie-dye shirt. It looked cool. To make a cool guitar.
Yes. Tony Yeager's asking, he said he loves my fabric top work. Have you ever fabric topped anything else? I had started fabric topping a jewelry box for my wife, but never finished it because I didn't get the lineup with the particular fabric I wanted. And so I put it aside and picked up another guitar and was doing it.
Right. It'd be cool to have a fabric topped small amp.
I am actually eventually I'm going to do an amp to match the telly.
Yeah, that'd be killer.
Yeah.
Then you had like a little matching set. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I've got a solid state Princeton out in the garage that might get that treatment.
Solid state be fun because then it'd be lighter to move around for sure. Not too heavy, not crazy heavy.
Exactly, Randy. The binding is actually easier to do.
Yep.
Which is why I get really excited when I can do a telly, because not only is it easier to do, but it looks so much better. It looks like extra.
Right.
Especially when I do a telly, I do the binding on the top and the back, right? And
how thick do you route around the edge when you?
I don't understand how Fender doesn't do that more.
Yeah.
I love the 60s, the 60s violin burst telly with the binding on the both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And it is what a telly is to me in my mind.
The violin burst?
Yeah, the violin burst with the double binding.
Oh, okay.
Neck on it, yeah.
No wonder that single binding one I have offends you so much.
Oh, it does. It's like why did you not finish the job?
Because I didn't build that body. I just bought the body and it had single binding and it was, not that expensive. It's a good body. I like it, but I know it's not your shtick. I've never even advertised that guitar. I should put it up for sale.
It is one of those things where, I'll tell you, I've got a telly I've got a thin line telly here that's got binding on the top.
Mm-hmm.
It bothers me when I look at it.
Oh, it's just killing you.
And
are you just going to do it? But then it's hard to do it if it's already finished, right? Without damaging the finish.
It's one of those things where I think it is one that is eventually going to leave. I like it, but I think it's one that's eventually going to leave the collection and get in something nicer.
Okay. All right. So instead of doing something to it, you're just going to, let it pass it on to the next.
Ben, You can agree to disagree if you like, but you're wrong.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to say that the blonde is the original Telly.
Well, I have a blonde Telly there with no binding on it,
Right.
and
but just to you like the
to me,
upgraded look.
It is, yeah. I
Of,
don't know what it is. Somewhere along the lines, I saw a 60s Telly with double binding and a violin burst, and that was it.
Ben, he needs a gentleman's Telly. He can't just have a working man's Telly. He's got to have a Cadillac Telly with double binding and a violin burst. So I get it. It's okay. Upgrade for Charles.
So Guitar Man 40 says, what about an LP with a set neck? Would that be hard to do?
Harder for sure.
It'd be harder just because with the set neck, you just can't take it off to get that neck off the way and not damage it. And so you could be a whole lot more careful with it, but it can be done.
It would be better to do it as when you're building the guitar, to wrap the body and then set the neck after you're done with the fabric.
Right. So I've got this Gretsch that Michael B sent me that we're going to be double binding. It's got a set neck on it, and so that's going to be a lot of fun on the rounding table.
Right. Yeah. Getting everything pulled out perfect.
Well, there, Martian Murray. Appreciate you coming in.
What up, dude? Yeah, it's been an in and out kind of night. I get it. Everybody's rolling through saying, what up? We appreciate everybody hanging out with our crazy channel talking about guitar repair. What have you had to repair lately? Anything break on you that you've actually had to fix in your life?
I've gotten guitars where I got my Firefly 338 and the bridge on it was just trash when it came.
So you had to replace that.
And it was the first thing I did was replace the bridge, and it needed a little bit of fret work, and I did that. And so, but but if a component doesn't work well, then I am all for replacing it with something that's better.
Do you do a fret polish when a guitar comes? Like when did you or will you do when you change the strings on your Strat, like a thorough fret polish?
Oh yeah, every time. If the strings are off, you might as well.
But when you say what I mean is a thorough fret polish, not a cleaning like a shining them up. I mean a 600 grit.
I take out my micro mesh where I go from the 1,500 all the way to 12,000 with it, and I do every one of them.
Oh, okay. I go with when I do a fret polish, I do 600 grit. That's where I start. So I'm going a little deeper. I'm going 600, 1,000, then steel wool, and that makes them shine like you won't believe.
I find if they're not horribly pitted, then that's a great. The 1,500 is a great place to start.
Yeah, 1,500 will definitely do it, but that's more getting off the dirt. And just like really, a fret polish. That's a fret shining or cleaning. Really polishing them, getting in there, really doing it.
Ed, a Les Paul is, if it doesn't have a belly carve on it, it is an ideal candidate for double mining. And in Gibson's, maybe that's the reason why I don't like most Les Pauls, because most Les Paul, Gibson's will only bind the top of a guitar,
unless it's like a custom, right? And then it's double bound.
Very few get double bound. And they cry for it. They just cry for it.
For the bind. Oh, you feel like they should have it to give it that finished look. It's always been like a showman thing, right? So only the front side of the guitar really has to be shown. So really have to make that side look good, and the back of the house is business, and you don't have to. So
yep. Bo, a Firefly, just like Ben says, it is a it is a guitar-shaped object. It is a cheaply made one, but it'll scratch an itch if you don't have one.
And if you know some setup skills like Ben does, he can make a Firefly be fun, probably, or at least fight its tendencies to be a not great guitar?
And, I've got two. I've got the 338 and I've got a thin line telly, and I like them both. But I will admit, but now that I'm getting nicer stuff,
You
I
feel a difference?
I don't need to hold. Yeah, there's definitely a difference, and I
Yeah.
don't necessarily need to hold on to them like I thought I was always going to.
Right. Yeah. And you feel a difference, and you just gravitate towards playing the guitars that feel better, that sound better. Uh-oh. Sarah's saying, "Hey, Seth, wake up." I'm having coffee. I'm tired. I worked so hard this week. It's like ridiculous. Mm-hmm. You know why, Charles? You know why I worked really hard? Because I believe that children are the future.
Because you work hard for your money, so hard
And
for
we
it,
should
honey.
treat them well and let
We
them
should
lead
treat
the
you
way.
right.
Show them all the beauty they have inside. All right, don't mute me. Don't mute me. All right, well, stop. But I was thinking about getting like part of my life story, like, and this show would be incorporated in that, but basically my life story tattooed across, like underneath where my name is on my back. And then like all my whole back, there's a whole story about me. And then if somebody ever asked me, "Hey, what's that tattoo?" I would say, "Hey, it's my backstory."
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, Doc, thank you for coming in and spending so much time with us. Really appreciate it.
And sorry
And
for
if
that
you
joke.
haven't seen, Doc's experiment where he's put all his Leonard Skinner videos on a loop and he is just kind of running them for 24 hours, it is genius.
It's so
I
cool.
really,
Go check it out. That's no
and
why he has so many
really keep
thousands of
out all
subscribers.
day long as I
Mm-hmm.
do my other work.
Yep. Thousands of subscribers because it's genius. Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, sorry I did that, Ben. I do believe that children are the future. Treat them well. Let them lead the way. Sorry. So I do that in meetings whenever I have the right opportunity and people haven't already heard it.
Mhm.
I like to bring it up. Mm-hmm. So what do you got? You got somebody lined up for Sunday? You're figuring that out.
Honestly, I do not. That was why I was pumping the chat during the show.
Okay. So somebody hit up
I have
Charles
been
because Charles is going to make it happen.
I have been
Um,
neglectful and did not line up a guest, and so if
that's fine.
anyone in chat is interested in doing that, go on over to the channel and find my email and let me know, and we'll get you hooked up.
Next up, we got Mitch Heyman. We got
Mitch Heyman and Charles Green, and I am dropping their link for tonight's show in the chat
nice.
as we speak.
We got Ben on Monday.
Yeah, Ben has got his Sunday show. Ben, who is your guest this weekend? Oh, he may be back on Sunday. You're not sure yet. So
Okay, we're still figuring out for Ben, but everybody's gonna. Sunday usually I haven't been checking in because I'm at work still, but I might get off early. Around this time of year, either kids are sick, or they're like traveling with their family for the holidays and stuff. So a lot of kids cancel their guitar lessons. Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking one of these times about doing a chatting with Charles with folks that have actually gotten a fabric top for me. I thought that would be kind of cool to
Yeah,
do
have
like
a
a full
group
discussion
fabric
and talk
talk.
about the process and what they got and was it what they thought it would be and that kind of thing.
We should get like all the people that have Presleys together, and none of them would really know each other, and it'd be really awkward. And there'd be like 50 people that they'd be like, "What? You bought a Presley too? Well, it wasn't what I expected." No, everybody's happy. 5-star reviews, guys. A lot of them.
Well, I know I haven't posted a fabric top video in a while,
Mm-hmm.
and but I've got a couple of projects that are in the works right now. And I'm working on videos for my brother Ed's telly, and we'll probably be routing that and putting fabric on it this Sunday.
Great.
And there's a LP Junior that we're working on with a pirate theme, and that'll get double routed and fabric on it. And I'm getting back to working on the Warlock. I've made some patches in the fabric since I can't replace that fabric since it's discontinued. I've made some corrections on it, and I'm getting really close to spring clear on it.
I don't know about doing that the pirate one, dude. That sounds like it might be hard.
Oh, I like what you did there.
You know. We're sorry for my presence this evening, but I've tried to just be here and try to be someone that we can kind of relate to as their uncle that they make sit at the end of the table for obvious reasons. But hey, I'm Unc.
Eventually, one of the things is I'm trying to get my wife to come on chatting with Charles.
Oh, okay.
So, kind of the other side of it, and what's your take on all this guitar stuff?
Yeah. We did a Seth and Sarah chat one night. It was a live broadcast. The most subscribers I've ever had in one session was when we were just sitting on the deck having a beer, chit-chatting. Yep. It's funny. Maybe I should try that again, bump myself up.
All right. Well, Charles Green is getting started right now. So go on over there, follow that link, and be with him.
But not before you listen to the best song ever to have you tapping your toe all week.
That's right. It is an earworming guaranteed to be on your
goddamn fucking right it is. You goddamn better fucking respect this song. So good.
Thank you for joining us once again, folks, and have a great weekend.
He was waiting all night just to get in there for the song. He's like,
I love that guy.
Come on, people, Charles and me, about to take you on guitar safari. So turn on your computer, turn on your phone, 'cause it's about to go down. One volume, one tone. Yeah, Charles and me, we're about to take you on guitar safari. Turn on your computer and turn on your phone, 'cause it's about to go down.